Okay, I need you to sit down for this, because I have been living inside this show for weeks and I genuinely don't know how to talk about it without sounding like someone who needs to be checked on. Maxton Hall is coming back. Season 3, the final season. And before we even get there, before I tell you what's coming, we need to go back. Because if you thought Season 2 was just drama, you weren't paying attention. That finale didn't just break Ruby's world. It broke mine too. Let me take you back to that last episode. The lacrosse championship, the Beaufort investor meeting, everything happening at once, and James standing at a crossroads between his father's world and everything he actually cares about. He chose the game. He chose Cyril. He chose people. And I remember watching that and thinking, this boy is finally becoming someone. Little did I know, the universe was about to make him pay for it. Because while James was at that game, Mortimer's world was quietly catching fire. Harold, Elaine's father, walked out of that investor meeting. Not just walked out, pulled his funding. And he looked Mortimer dead in the eye and said it was because of what James did to his daughter. Because of Ruby. And that was the moment I felt it. That cold, quiet shift. That thing where a powerful, dangerous man decides someone is to blame and that someone is going to suffer for it. Mortimer called his assistant and asked for a phone number. That's it. That's all he did. And I was terrified. Then came Ruby walking through her front door. She heard sobbing before she even reached the kitchen. Her mom, her dad, her sister, sitting at that table with that look on their faces, the kind of look that means something has already been lost. Her mother had been fired. Her father told her the bakery had been sold, the bakery that used to belong to her mother. The one her mom had been saving and dreaming and quietly aching to buy back. Gone. Just like that. And Ruby asked who bought it. And when we heard the answer, nobody needed to say a single word. Mortimer. Of course it was Mortimer. She called James immediately. And the look on his face, that face, said everything. He knew. He knew before she even finished the sentence. And then the will reading. Cordelia's will. James, Lydia, Olivia, all of them sitting there expecting something that made sense, something that felt like their mother. Instead, everything went to Mortimer. Every single thing. Her assets. Her properties. Her shares in Beaufort. And the siblings sat there in disbelief because they knew, Lydia had said it herself, Cordelia would never cut her children out. This wasn't their mother's will. This was Mortimer's revenge wearing a legal document as a mask. James went to the Campbell Foundation. He begged Mrs. Campbell to reinstate Ruby's scholarship. And she couldn't. Not because she didn't want to, because she couldn't. Mortimer funds the foundation. He funds everything. He has his hand around every single throat in that world. And honestly, can we even be angry at her? What choice did she have? But James tried. And that matters. He met Ruby that night. She asked him to stay. And he said no, not because he didn't want to, but because she had exams in the morning and he didn't want to be her distraction. He chose her future over his need to hold on to her. And I thought, this is the most quietly heartbreaking thing this show has ever done. Then came the morning. The scholarship exam. Ruby walked into school like she was ready to fight for everything she'd worked for. And Mr. Lexington called her into his office. And there was her mother, sitting there. And then Mr. Lexington showed Ruby the photo. That moment from the welcome party. Ruby, Graham, talking, completely innocent, caught at the exact wrong angle by whoever knew exactly what it would look like. And suddenly Graham is being escorted out by police. And the entire school is watching. And Lydia is standing there in tears. And James pulls Ruby close as she starts to fall apart. And that is where they left us. Now here's what kills me. In the third book, which Season 3 will adapt, we find out that James might have been the one who sent that photo. And Ruby believes it. She believes it. And watching these two people, who fought so hard for each other, have their trust shattered completely from the inside, That is going to be devastating in a way I don't think I'm fully prepared for. But here's the thing about this show. It doesn't let people stay broken. Lydia eventually tells the truth about Graham. The whole story Mortimer built collapses. Ruby fights her way back. She challenges the suspension. She refuses to let Oxford go. And James finally does the thing we've been waiting 3 seasons for. He walks away from Beaufort. He gives up his shares. He chooses himself. He chooses her. There's also a theory, and I can't stop thinking about it, that Mortimer might not even be James and Lydia's biological father. Percy is always there, always close, and that key Cordelia left him, the one that clearly opens something. I think season 3 is going to crack that whole mystery wide open. And honestly, if it does, if Percy and Cordelia had a history that runs deeper than anyone knows, it changes everything about how we see this family. Season 3 is already filmed. Amazon confirmed a 2026 release. We're almost there. And I will be watching every single second of it. Not as someone who needs a happy ending, but as someone who needs these characters to finally breathe. Ruby deserves Oxford. James deserves freedom. And Lydia deserves a quiet life where nobody is trying to own her. All I know is, Maxton Hall has never once been easy. And I wouldn't have it any other way.